What's up, Taiwan? Good morning. I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan Health Minister Chen Shizhong will no longer be chairing the daily COVID-19 press meetings. The Central Epidemic Command Center says Chen will only make an appearance for big policy announcements. Taiwan recorded almost 29,000 new COVID infections and 91 COVID-linked deaths on Monday. While the number of daily new cases is tailing off, the number of deaths has yet to follow. This has experts looking to data from countries that have seen their outbreaks ease. Experts warn that this COVID wave may not be the last, especially as Taiwan considers reopening its borders. But they say fatalities should subside in the coming weeks. The outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic hit Taiwan's tourism and catering industry hard. One of the most affected spots in the country is the Shiling night market in Taipei. But organizers say the market was in decline even before the pandemic, and they're now working to regain the trust of local consumers. TaiwanPlus reporter Alice Chang has more.
This is one of Taiwan's most famous attractions, Shiling Night Market. It's not dark yet, but this vendor is already busy preparing food for the evening. Once a bustling scene, things have changed here since COVID-19. At its peak, Shiling Night Market attracted 100,000 visitors a day, many of them international tourists. This brought high profits to the vendors. But now, their average revenue is down 20 to 30%.
更惨啦！今天是礼拜日，好不好？礼拜日你有看到人啦？你平常我跟你讲了，现在都没什么人。
Nearly 300 vendors have been forced to close. That's almost 15% of stores. But the slowdown in the night market is not just because of the pandemic.
观光客一窝蜂进来之后，整个夜市就变掉了。当业者面对是附近的居民跟附近的学生，他会抱着做回头客的心态。 东西会好吃，价格会便宜，分量会多。可是当他面对是国外观光客的时候，他的心态不一样。他认为这个是一次性消费，所以说就会抱着有一种不正确的心态在营业啊。所以说这10几年自己做坏掉。
The market's reputation was also tainted by a controversy involving fruit sellers who overcharged foreign customers. The local government launched an investigation and fined the offending vendors.
就是之前给人家的印象不好，这个印象要再慢慢的回来，需要时间。需要时间的话，就是说要透过办一些大型活动，吸引人家回来。那当他们再来逛士林夜市，再来这边消费的时候，觉得说，好像有以前那个味道了，变比较友善了。这希望说借由这样慢慢转型。
The once prosperous tourist spot may have suffered heavy losses, but Shiling Night Market is determined to rebuild its image and bring back the crowds. Alice Zheng for TaiwanPlus.
June is Pride Month, a time when people in the U.S. and other countries celebrate the progress made in LGBTQ rights. TaiwanPlus reporter Rick Laird takes a look at how marriage equality has evolved around the globe and where Taiwan fits in with the rest of the world.
So, back in 2001, the Netherlands became the first country in the world to legalize marriage between two people of the same sex. And over the next few years, countries across 4 continents followed suit. Then, in 2015, the Supreme Court in the United States made same-sex marriage legal nationwide. It prompted celebrations across the country. 2 years later, Australia joined New Zealand to become the second place in the Pacific with equal marriage rights. Over here in Taiwan, 2017 was also the year the country's highest court ruled that the ban on same-sex marriage was unconstitutional. Shortly after that, in 2019, the legislature passed a same-sex marriage law. It was the first of its kind in Asia. Now, Thailand looks set to become the next country in the region to join the same-sex marriage club. The country's parliament is considering 2 bills that would make it legal. Japan, on the other hand, had been making progress on LGBTQ rights over the last few years, but recently there, a court ruled in favour of the ban on same-sex marriage. So it's Taiwan that is the clear leader when it comes to LGBTQ rights in Asia. And the region as a whole has a lot of catching up to do.
That was Rick Lard for TaiwanPlus with an update on global same-sex marriage rights. For more on marriage equality and other LGBTQ rights issues in Asia, Rick spoke to prominent Taiwanese LGBTQ activist Jennifer Liu, who helped push for the country's landmark same-sex marriage legislation.
And do you think life for LGBTQ people in Asia is improving?
I will say in Taiwan, according to our survey, the society's atmosphere and acceptance is growing and growing. However, discrimination still exists, and we are trying our best to change the society to be a better environment for the LGBT community. And given the progress in the region, we can see pretty optimistic future. However, because the Asia region, a lot of countries still don't have stable democracy. So that's a harder situation for the civil society to fight for their rights.
And compared to places like Europe or the Americas, what challenges do countries in Asia face when it comes to LGBTQ rights and marriage equality?
Still in a lot of Asian countries, people see LGBT still as Western issues. It's still some kind of atmosphere that people on the ground don't think LGBT individuals are their friends or their family members. So that will be much more complicated if you see LGBT only a Western issue, but not global issues. So I think Taiwan can be a really good example and role model that we are aware of LGBT, our friends and family, LGBT rights, our human rights, and also we find some ways, some strategy to make LGBT and our traditions to be coexisted. This is something I think very important in the region.
Why do you think it is that Taiwan has taken a lead when it comes to LGBTQ rights in Asia?
I think civil society in Taiwan is very strong and active, especially after Sunflower Movement. You can see younger generation, they believe their efforts can make the society better. This kind of belief and this kind of faith, I think, driven the civil society to do more and fight for our rights. So I think this kind of inspiration actually impact other Asian activists, and they can see the hope, especially the similar faces in the television or on the internet, and that can encourage other Asia activists to find their own strategy, but based on the Taiwan experience.
A special art exhibition in southern Taiwan is hoping to give a popular scenic spot a very different flavor using technology. Over the weekend, the Cigu Salt Mountain did some test runs for its upcoming light show festival, which officially kicks off early next month. Erika Liu takes a look.
Salt piles and light shows. This unusual combination comes together at Cigu Salt Mountain in Tainan City in southern Taiwan. Organizers are gearing up for the Light Festival's official opening in early July with some test runs. Lots of people went to get a sneak peek.
那个夕阳下来，你就会有一些那个云彩，光雕的感觉就趣味性会比较多一点。会有一些图案在那个岩上面，还不错啊。会带朋友一起来看。
3D light sculptures and animations are projected onto the salt piles. Organizers hope to mix history and technology together in this event.
特别选在全台湾最古老的金仔角瓦盘盐田这边作为一个场景，然后来营造一个缤纷的光影的一个艺术。
The festival kicks off on July 2nd with light shows every evening and special displays on the weekends. As Naya Zhou and Erika Liu for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today, we leave you with images of the second white rhino born in Cuba's National Zoo since 2019. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.